different existence than I have. We are back here on the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio program. Coast to coast, border to border on TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, Ustream as well. We are broadcasting on the app today, and we are going to put all of our video and audio up on our website at jiggyjaguar.com as soon as we go off the air. And interesting deal, Elvis, our buddy Marshall, the Elvis impersonator, is driving around the neighborhood. Let's see. Across from the Zip Trip, 209 East Avenue A.
Tell them it's the White Horseshoe.
We'll do that.
Tell them to look for a I Hate Matt Wall sticker in the parking lot.
Look for a I Hate Matt Wall sticker in the parking lot. Boom. There you go. Marshall Elvis, as I have him in my Google Voice.
I was supposed to work with this company in Georgia managing the Boogeyman. But they couldn't get him to do it for some reason.
They couldn't get the Boogeyman.
How do you not get the Boogeyman?
There was a buddy of mine, actually. Well, he's not really a buddy of mine anymore, but he lived ironically in this apartment. He lived in the spare bedroom back there, which is now the green screen room. And he was trying to do a fitness chick show where he was basically doing it as a way to bang fitness chicks, but he was profiling fitness women. And one of the women that he talked to and was going to have on the show, her personal trainer in Colorado was the Boogeyman. It was a hell of a deal. Because he came out here one day and he's like, "You know who the Boogeyman is?"
Fuck yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I know who the Boogeyman is." And I said, "He's a pro wrestler." And he goes, "Well, this chick that's going to be on the show, her personal trainer is him." And I'm like, "Let's go." I go to Colorado, meet the fucking Boogeyman. He was gonna do. He was gonna be booked in a place here in Kansas called Great Bend at one point for a wrestling show, and that never materialized. But that would have been fun.
I thought they were going to bring him back when they were doing all those weird Halloween segments where he was scaring people in the office on WWE. I'm like, oh my god, Boogeyman's coming back.
They're going to bring him back.
I'm like, did you guys hear Boogeyman's coming back? I saw him in a promo. Well, it was like a swerved thing, but it was awesome. And then he never came back.
It's
little pieces.
The Boogeyman was, from all the different things that I'd heard from various folks, he had a really good gimmick, but the guy couldn't work. So it wasn't like
shocked at how many people can't work. Like, how was that? How did you get? I mean, he had worms in his mouth and bits.
Well, yeah, and his boys with Booker T down in Texas, and
this is like a fucking weird sideshow freak show guy.
Yeah,
he's not like a wrestling guy. He's like, oh, I don't care if you can wrestle.
It's kind of like back in the day, Tom Tiny Lester, who was Zeus. I love that character.
I thought Hulk Hogan was gonna die. I could count on so many hands and fingers how many times I was scared to death.
There's Marshall. There's our Elvis, I think.
Let's see.
Come on in, Elvis. We're here. Or is it a rapper with a mixtape? It's Elvis.
How does that happen?
Well, so you're right. The guys who can't work, it is absolutely amazing.
It's ridiculous.
The guys who they can't work.
The guys who can work they get a microphone in their face and they go,
There was a deal, and I didn't know about this till I realized he was going to have hip surgery. But they brought Sabu in fairly recently to like Dodge City, to do a show, and it was booked between Sabu and the guy who runs the company. The guy's name's Flex Reed, and the guy hasn't worked a match in 2 years. And I'm like, how are you going to do Sabu and him when Flex has never worked a match?
Is he just going to let Sabu beat the shit out?
And I was like, how's this going to work? Well, Zombie, who I was telling you about earlier, he was brought in as the referee. So none of these people want to work for Flex, because Flex, there's weird things that happen. So none of these people want to work for Flex. So what they did is they brought in Kenny to referee in his gear. Didn't even have a referee shirt. He just had his gimmick on. And they had brought in Flex, and they had, on one side it was Flex Reed, his manager, and another guy from the company, versus Sabu, his manager, and some other guy from the company. Flex never got in the ring. The two guys that were in the company wrestled, and at the end of the match, they put Flex Reed's manager, who's not a wrestler, through a table. End of the match. I'm like, this is genius. I'm like, how does this work? Oh my God, does that work?
The art of the manager needs to come back, and I swear, like, so many low-card guys
in professional wrestling, yes,
they would have something to do.
They would have something to do.
You know,
That's like, there's this group of guys, we were talking about a lot of the wrestling companies in Kansas earlier. There's a group in Salina, and I've had heat with these guys forever because I call them out on their BS, but they're called XWE.
Controversial.
And
right here, live on the radio.
That's right. They're called XWE, and it's made up of a bunch of guys that are basically cosplaying as professional wrestlers. None of them know how to work.
Well,
But the thing about them is that they sell merch. Yeah. They're everywhere. You have an AIDS walk, they're there in their gimmicks. You have a pool party, boom, they're there in their gimmicks. So, and they've got the kids. So all the kids are like, I got to get pictures of the pro wrestlers.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do.
Pat Penny, people, let me just tell you, I was going to start a pro wrestling organization that never showed wrestling. All it was going to be was backstage interviews after the matches.
That would be awesome.
And then I wouldn't have to pay for a ring. I wouldn't have to, worry about insurance of any kind.
And essentially how you shoot this is you have your table with your two play-by-play guys. And then at the end, they're like, let's go to the back. We've got blah, blah, blahs on the scene with...
Here with AJ Styles.
That's right. And so they go back, and then they're like, well, Johnny, let's go back to ringside. And then they're like, well, that was a great interview. AJ Styles later tonight, going to be facing, let's go backstage.
And then you go,
blah, 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 is caught up with James Storm.
What you missed during the break was this guy had an anal prolapse because he got put through a damn chair. It's not breakable. So we need to take him to the hospital or else he would be here to talk to you about it.
That's right.
But it was disgusting.
And we've got to take a break in the action here at ringside. We're going to go backstage. We've got blah, blah, blah standing by with our own blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and we got the green girl in the shower.
That's right.
Make sure it's clean.
It would be perfect. It's an entire wrestling organization of backstage segments.
Yeah.
They go backstage, they throw to ringside. They throw to ringside, they go backstage.
Dealing with some wrestlers. There were some wrestlers I met that were really good to work with.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But there are so many that their head is so far up their butts, dude, that it's like, you have done absolutely dick. Why do you have this attitude?
That's right.
You haven't done anything. Like, nobody knows who you are. I don't know why I'm getting so angry right now.
Well, these XWE guys in Salina, they recently had Zombie start working for them.
Yes.
And so Zombie started doing some stuff. Well, then Zombie at one point told him, he said, here's the deal, guys. You got to slow down. You got to tell a story. And they're like, we just want to get our shit in. And he's like, that's not how that works.
You got to hook fuckers to bring them back to the next thing.
And they want to do, what they want to do is they want to come to the ring. They want to have the ring introductions. They want to fly off the top ropes, go through the ropes, do some stuff, and then have the match. And it's like, you can't do that.
See, if they
it's like going to a concert and having you come out. Well, I should say that because I went and seen Loverboy, but I was getting ready to say, it's like having a concert and you come out and you play your two hits and you leave. Loverboy played the Kansas State Fair 4 years ago, and the year before they had Huey Lewis. And Huey Lewis,
Pour the house down.
all 90 minutes, he is going.
Yeah, I bet.
90 minutes. He's doing all the hits. He's doing new stuff. Huey Lewis, 90 minutes.
My friend in Minnesota saw Loverboy today at the state.
The next year, Loverboy. And I'm sitting there with my mom, and she writes reviews for the local paper here and everything. So she was sitting there, and she's like, ha ha ha, what are they going to do? They're 2 hits and leave? So they come out. They did Working for a Weekend, Turn Me Loose, guitar solo, drum solo, bass solo, leave. I'm like, okay. So, it could happen. You could do your 2 hits and leave.
Well, that's what Hulk Hogan did for his whole career.
I remember seeing Clint Black up in Salina, Kansas at the Stiefel Theater. He did a Christmas show. And he had been sick a couple weeks before, and it was his last date, and he couldn't get out of it. They were going to make him do it. So he comes out at the beginning of the show, and he goes, here's the deal. This is my last gig before the end of the year. I want to go home and see my kids. So we're going to hurry through this, and I'm leaving. He did a 30-minute show. At the end of the show, he was on the bus and around the corner before the patrons got outside, because my mom went to that show, and she said they let everybody out the door, and as we were coming out of the front of the steeple, here's the bus driving around the corner.
He walks off while the band's still playing, and no one really realized that he was gone. Buck Owens
Kenny Rogers did that one time at a show.
I was like, what the fuck just happened? Where the fuck did Buck? Where's Buck? And the same fucking thing.
Kenny Rogers did a show with
a chicken sandwich.
well, that too. Did a show with Billy Dean.
Okay.
Kenny comes out, sits at this bench, does a couple songs. Billy Dean comes out and sings. In the middle of the show, Kenny Rogers got up and left the stage. Billy Dean kept playing, and everybody's like, where is Kenny going?
What the fuck happened?
And it's then at the end of it, Billy's like, good night, everybody, and left. No mention of Kenny. No mention of nothing. And it's like, where did Kenny Rogers go?
It's an art form to be able to.
It's the weirdest thing.
From 1,000 people. It's pretty awesome.
Arlo Guthrie. Oh my God. Arlo Guthrie did a show in Salina, Kansas. And they had been promoting it the whole time. Alice's Restaurant. He's going to play Alice's Restaurant. Come here, Alice's Restaurant. At the show, he gets ready to do he did his show, did the whole thing. He gets up to go off stage. And they're getting ready to do the encore. And he goes off stage. And we had our seats to where we could see him going off stage. And he goes over by the executive director, Jane Gates, who's the chick that runs the theater. And she's like, she's like, 2 more songs, you gotta go. And he's like, nope. Finally, she must have said something, and he went ahead and went, okay, fine. Went out, sat down at the piano, and he's like, what do you guys want to hear? And everybody's like, Alice's Restaurant, Alice's Restaurant. And he stops, and he looks at the crowd, and he goes, let me tell you something. That's like Groundhog Day for me. I do that song once every 10 years. You want to hear that fucking song? Go get a CD.
See,
And I'm like, and people got up and all pissed and left, and I'm like, what are you doing?
They should get mad because, I can't remember. I think it was Alice Cooper who said it. He's like, do you think I like doing the School's Out in 18 every damn show I've ever played? No, but I do it because that is why I
That's
have
right.
fans, and
That's
what
right.
I want to hear. So it's like, if no matter how fucking tired of a song you are, tough shit. That's what you have to swallow. If that song made you fucking a lot of money and made you fans,
You better do it.
You have to feed that song to your fans. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
We had, let's see, who was it? He's up there. Gary Morris.
Hey, I'm gonna blow it up. Alice's Restaurant's totally overrated. Suck it, Marlo.
The Yelp reviews, the whole thing. Well, that's like, there's a buddy of mine here in town, Bob Colladay's big ukulele guy. And he, yeah, does ukuleles, the whole 9 yards.
Awesome.
He went to that show with Arlo, and he wanted to get his ukulele signed. And he got backstage and whatever, and he was like, hey, can you sign this, blah, blah, blah. And Arlo's like, I don't really have time.
He's like, just write
He goes, just write whatever the hell you want on there, and I'll sign it.
Oh, I'm surprised.
And so he went ahead and just signed it, and then He left enough room for Bob to write whatever.
It's like, I love the I'll look out for you.
It was like, oh my God, why would you? There was a I interviewed a he used to do a show out of Branson, Joseph Hall. He's an Elvis tribute artist. Now Joseph Hall, I love Joseph to death, but Joseph is more about getting himself over than getting over his Elvis. Because when you come into the building, all over the place, Elvis, 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 Elvis. Then at the end of the show, they're selling Joseph Hall bobbleheads, Joseph Hall T-shirts, Joseph Hall this, Joseph Hall that.
So it's a bait and switch at the end.
Essentially.
That's brilliant. I applaud that.
And the first time we interviewed him, I asked him different questions about Elvis, and one of the questions I asked was, you know, what's your set list? And he goes, a lot of my stuff. He goes, I have the fans dictate to me, because he goes, they remember Elvis. They show up to an Elvis show. They want to hear these certain songs. And he goes, I guess there's been Elvis tribute artists like out in Missouri that he's worked with or seen, where people show up and they're like, I want to hear, you know, whatever. And he's like, I'm not singing that Elvis song tonight. And it's like, I got news for you.
Dude,
I paid to see fucking Elvis. I want to hear Jailhouse Rock. You're going to play it.
Right now. I'm going to tell you what a fucking showman does. Buck motherfucking Owens, okay? I go to Crystal fucking Palace to see Buck Owens, okay?
Buck Owens.
True fucking story. He's like, okay, everybody. And, oh my God, he fucking barely walked out. Like, because he was old as shit. He's like, write down whatever song you want. I don't care who it's by on a cocktail napkin. The waitress is coming to pick him up. Me and the band are going to go through them, and we're going to play a show for you guys tonight. Everyone's like, oh, okay, cool. They played a bunch of Buck Owens shit. He played the Beatles. He played a fucking Korn song. It was amazing.
Of course, there was somebody in town that wanted to hear Korn.
No, yeah, in Bakersfield, of course. Like,
of course.
The fact that dude, and it could have been a whole fake thing. Like, they're like, okay, we need to learn a Korn song and a Beatles song. Let's get to it. And we'll, like, just put a Korn napkin in there. Like, whatever the deal was, it was art. It was a performance piece. It was brilliant, and every single person left there happy. And
that's the thing.
Oh,
I seen who was it? The guy who what the hell was his name? He was he was the outlaw country guy for years. Waylon. No, it wasn't Waylon. It was
Hank Jr.
No.
Not Shooter.
No, not Shooter. I met Shooter. He's a good guy. God, I used to God, I can't think of his name now. The story though was that he played Salina, Kansas at a place called the Blue Goat.
Sounds interesting.
It's now an old garage where they park cars, and he rolled into town. And they had sold tickets. They'd done all this stuff. He rolled into town, got on stage, made everybody wait 45 minutes, got on stage, did 2 songs. They were covers of somebody else's songs, and left. And on the way out the door, he stole one of the carpets in the back of the Blue Goat, jumped on his bus, and they left. And I'm like, really? I wish to God...
It's awesome that you remember the story, but not the guy.
And what's funny is they did David Allan Coe.
Oh, I can see
David Allan Coe. And they did it. The radio station had worked out a deal with the promoters that were going to do Dinner with David. And what had happened is a couple weeks before, George Thorogood had played the Stiefel Theater. And he wanted, they had provided different food for him. And he was like, do you have somebody who could do some home cooking? And they were like, no. And then the sales manager for the radio station I was working for at the time was like, yeah, our morning guy. He has a barbecue service. He's on a barbecue competition team. I'll call him up. He'll come down and cook for George Thorogood. So he comes down. Well, we turned it into this big deal where he was down at the Stiefel and he was hanging out with George Thorogood and we were doing updates all morning and him getting the food ready. It was this whole thing. And at the end of the deal, here comes George Thorogood, loves the shit out of it. He loves the shit out of food, loves the shit out of Salina, loved it. So the next week, or a couple months later, we're going to bring down David Allan Coe to town. So they had this, everybody wanted to go down and eat with George Thorogood because George Thorogood raved about Ken's food. So all these listeners are like, we gotta go eat with Ken, we want to do this. So they did this deal where they're going to do dinner with David, where you could win so many passes.
It's a marketing.
It's so many passes and all that stuff. So they did this. Well, David Allan Coe showed up, sat in his bus. Well, a couple of the contest winners were kind of belligerent. So they had gotten drunk at the bar, and they wanted their alcohol paid for. And the bar was like, no, we're paying for your food, but we're not paying for your alcohol. Well, they were sitting there during this deal, and David's band came in and ate with everybody and, had a good time. These two guys at one point were fucking pissed, so one of them stands up, and he's mad as hell, and he hits the table, and he goes, I want a contest for dinner with David. I didn't get it. I want a contest for dinner with David and everything. And Brother Ken stands up. He's cooked all day. He's put up with all these contest winners, all this crap. He stands up, and he goes, is there a David here? And his bass player was like, yeah, my name's David. And he goes, right there, dinner with David. Now shut the hell up and eat. That was the greatest thing.
You just ate, 20 feet from David Allan Coe's bus.
Yeah.
So, good for you. Kind of shared oxygen.
There
So,
you go.
Suck it.
Exactly.
Suck it. That's fine.
Now, Matt Wall is going to be part of a big show tonight at the Rusty Needle here in Hutchinson. It's so big it needs 2 Gs. Am I building it up too much? Am I putting you over too much?
Boogeyman is going to open.
Boogeyman is going to open.
He's going to wrestle Blue Goat.
He's going to wrestle Blue Goat from Salina. And we are going to do this. We've got one. We're going to do Facebook Live, too, with this last song. I'm going to check in. I don't know why I'm checking in, but I'm checking in. And
coming up with new things to confuse us. We just want to tag our friends in stupid posts.
My favorite was the whole gimmick with the Foursquare. I love the shit out of Foursquare, and then that went away. So.
Oh, hey, since we're going to go live on Facebook, can all my Facebook friends quit posting political stuff? If people don't know who they're going to vote for by now, they're probably not going to vote. So just shut the fuck up. I'm tired of hearing about it. Is that okay? Can I say that?
You say what you want.
Fucking hell, man.
They're either going to vote for Gary Johnson, Jill Stein, Trump, or Hillary.
And 90% of them aren't even going to vote. They're going to forget what the voting day is, unless there's some fucking marijuana.
Good, then that helps Trump. No. Good, that helps Hillary. Good, that whoever you're cheering for. Good, that helps them.
All right. It's going to get controversial up in here.
So, Mr. Matt, what do you have for us?
I'm going to play the song I normally close with, since I'm closing.
Okay.
Sing along. So if you guys could think about the last person that really
It's a
pissed you
sing
off,
along.
just jump in when you hear the part that says, you wanna fuck with me. Everybody can sing along. It'll be a fun little thing.
It'll be a fun little deal.
So here we go.
Fun little
This
ditty.
is Believe for Me. I'm about each way, losing my mind on you. And I'm about what away from murdering you. You wanna fuck with me? You wanna fuck with me? Nothing slash your throat with my teeth. You wanna fuck with me? You wanna fuck with me? Well, I will make for me. Down on your knees, blood pooling around my face, and bleed for me. Gnash your teeth, 'cause I feed on your screams. That was a horrible sing-along, guys. I'm embarrassed right now. Alright.
You've got Elvis / Neil Diamond over there speechless.
I'll just do it by myself, I guess. You motherfucker lit my fuse. Tear out your house. You motherfucker took me out. Found you was my house. You wanna fuck with me? You wanna fuck with me? Slash your throat with my teeth. You wanna fuck with me? You wanna fuck with me? Well, I will make you bleed. I'll make you bleed for me. Down on your knees, blood pooling around my face, and bleed for me. Gnash your teeth as I feed on your belief for me. Believe for me. Believe for me. Dead.
That's a hell of a deal.
Sounds like a Memphis drop down.
Now, tonight you're going to be part of a big show out there at the old Rusty Needle.
Rusty Needle, 8:30. Boom in your mouth. T-girls.
T-girls.
Just gotta say T-girls at the end of most things. People are like, oh, I should go.
Well, you know, it's kind of like a Seinfeld episode. We've got to have the everything's got to wrap around.
Yeah.
Everything's got to wrap back around.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring it back to square one, man. And that's how we did that. Boom. T-girl.
It's going to be a hell of a deal. And thanks to you. Thanks to joining us on our app, JiggyJaguar.com. And also, IHateMattWall.com.
Boom. And on Twitter, and on Instagram, and on Facebook, and on Bandcamp. And you could get unreleased recordings that only you could get. That didn't make sense.
That didn't make a lot of sense.
Figure it out. It's fun. And if you guys come to the thing and said you heard this, I'll give you something for free. And it
Look at
won't
that.
be HIV.
Okay.
Because I have to wear a condom so he doesn't sue me.
That's right. Because it's
Bringing it all
you
back.
got to bring it all back. Prop 60. No on 60, baby.
Then a horse vet to get his condom.
Oh, and by the way, I found that article to the Hood Slam Wrestling. I sent that to you on Facebook.
Okay,
So
did you look up Ultimate Surrender and Naked Combat with a K?
let me do that
Just
real
go to
quick.
Kink.com, everybody, and look up their weird porn wrestling.
They have porn
Very
wrestling.
violent. It's much more violent than you would think it is.
Ultimate Surrender.
Yeah, so if you want to see a dude get piped at the end of
Porn
his
wrestling. Let's do that.
that's what you got.
Ultimate Surrender porn wrestling. There's Ultimate Surrender porn videos on Pornhub.
They have divas.
They have divas.
They have like tag matches and everything, dude. It's crazy.
Well, here it is. Ultimate Surrender tag match on nextvideos.com.
Boom.
YouPorn's Ultimate Surrender channel.
Not that this show is sponsored by YouPorn or any of its subsidiaries.
I would love that.
YouPorn.
I would love I actually you know,
Just get an affiliate marketing thing with YouPorn, and they probably make more money than Alberto Del Rio does in freaking signing.
in the Indies. We did a deal when we went to Vegas for the Porn Awards in January.
As a stunt cock. You got a big award.
Newcomer of the year.
Newcomer of the year, look at that. our Elvis Neil Diamond artist jumping in there.
Boom.
He's right in there. Look at that. Now we went over to the YouPorn booth, or the Pornhub booth, because they were giving out college, whatever it was. What was it they were giving in college?
For college, if you come show us your beaver.
I think so, some sort of deal.
God, that's ridiculous.
And it was a weird deal. And we were watching their camera guy, and he was filming all sorts of different things, and he had this huge apparatus in his phone. And I'm like, the hell is that? And my girlfriend Brittany's like,
Sit on it.
I can build that. So she went home and she built this stick that we take everywhere with us. We can do Periscope, Ustream, YouTube. We can do all the different video things at once. And it's a monopod.
On one camera?
On several cameras.
Okay.
On like a phone and a couple tablets. And then she built a home edition over there in the corner. So we can do the home edition. So it's a hell of a deal. I'm looking at this Ultimate Surrender here. UltimateSurrender.com. Competitive.
Watching porn during a radio show.
Competitive female sexual wrestling.
Yeah.
With and I love the way that this is all put together. UltimateSurrender.com. Competitive female sexual wrestling with an exclamation point.
Sports entertainment.
Naked cat fighting where the winner gets to fuck the loser with a huge strap on any way she wants.
Yeah.
That is.
In front of a live audience.
Have you been to one of these?
It's up in San Francisco. I know some people who did some matches.
San Francisco, home of Michael Savage, the conservative radio guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big Savage fan. I know that most people aren't fans of radio people, but
You said Savage, and I just automatically thought
Randy.
a 14-year-old Stephanie McMahon.
It all comes
Back
back.
around.
It all comes back around. Well, that is that.
That was my writing career at WWE.
Check out I Hate MattWall.com.
Boom.
You won't hate Matt Wall because he's amazing.
But you can.
But you can if you want.
Why would you?
Why would you?
I wanted it. Yeah.
Well, before I let you go, play us out. I don't know what it means to play us out, says Bill O'Reilly. A guy who's been in television for 15 years doesn't know the term to play us out. Have you seen the video of him freaking out?
Yeah. It's freaking out.
Well, they're like, we're gonna do a Sting video. What? It's gonna play us out. What? I don't know what it means to play us out. I'm like, you don't know what that means. I had never done any television at all, and I knew what that meant way back in the day when they're like, well, we're gonna have blah blah blah, play us out. Oh, they're gonna play us as we leave.
I don't think people are supposed to tell Bill O'Reilly things. You're supposed to tell people things. And they're just like, yeah, whatever, Bill. Which is fine. You know?
He's got people to tell people to tell people.
He's got people.
Like, who the fuck is this fired guy that just told me we're getting played out?
That's
That guy doesn't
great.
have a job anymore. That's how that works.
Or maybe he's jobbing somewhere.
Jobbing, yeah. He's jobbing for some wrestlers who don't know how to wrestle.
That's right. In Salina, Kansas. Okay, well, what do you have for us as we leave, my friend?
Well, I was just playing something.
Oh, I thought you were going to play something as we...
Yeah, this is one of the new songs from the 31 Days of Halloween thing. This one came out on the 1st. How do I play it? Oh, yeah. I don't think that's it. It's right here, yeah. I won't lay in the face. I won't lay in the face. Once away when I can meet. Once away for the meet and greet. Once away when I'm scared and want to wear it my way. 'cause I kinda forgot the second verse. One to wear when I cut my leg, and one to wear when I'm dancing with my soul.